The jumbo containment strategy did not quite complete its long journey. Its substantial remains can be seen to this day at the site. Jim Eckles recounts the story.
Babcock and Wilcox built this thing, and the specs were for the interior diameter to be 10 feet, and then the walls 15 inches thick, solid steel. And they started with 6.5 inches thick pieces of steel, and they had to roll them and bend them and then weld them together into a cylinder. So they got jumbo onto the rail car to move it from Ohio to New Mexico. Well, they couldn't just go boom straight through because bridges, tunnels, etc. couldn't handle the size of this thing. So they had to loop up through the upper Midwest and come back down, and ended up at what they call Pope Siding on the railroad west of Trinity Site. It's down by the Rio Grande, and they unloaded jumbo on a huge trailer that had 64 wheels on it. They used a bunch of bulldozers to push and pull it up to ground zero. And by the time they got this all manufactured, hauled to the site and all that stuff, they decided not to use it because it would interfere a lot with measurements. Again, this idea of collecting data. If the bomb is all locked up in a bottle, you can't see anything until the bottle gets vaporized or blown to pieces. So there's very little chance of collecting much information. Plus, they were more confident it was going to work. So jumbo simply sat on the ground 800 yards from ground zero during the test. The tower around jumbo was just boom, blown over, twisted and mangled. Jumbo was undamaged, being that chunk of solid steel. So then in 1946, the Army, who was up there for White Sands Missile Range, put 8 500-pound bombs in jumbo, still standing on end, and managed to blow off both ends. And it fell over. And Los Alamos was really peeved. They'd spent all this money to have this thing built, and then the Army had gone and blown off both ends, and they got no data. Jumbo then sat like laid in an arroyo basically for years. In the 50s, the 9 inches of plating around the outer cylinder disappeared. We don't know why. We got a picture from the early 50s of it intact, but by 1960 it's gone. And then in 1979, the missile range, we moved it to the parking lot so that people could see it. People are always asking about it. Where's jumbo? Can I see jumbo? And so we used a little Egyptian technology to move it over there and put it on display, and people walk by it. The kids love playing in it. And in there you can see the jagged portion of one end of jumbo where the bombs were placed, where they gouged out chunks of steel. So that's the sad story of jumbo.